Today I'm only going to be using a little bit of BB cream because I'm going to be using white foundation afterwards, and there's not really much point in covering my foundation with BB cream if I'm going to be going over with white foundation afterwards. So I'm just going to cover up just mainly my chin area because that's the area that's going to be exposed and not underneath white foundation. After that I'm going to fill in my eyebrows with some white makeup. Now if you don't have a white cream makeup, what you can also use is white foundation, that will work as well. And now I'm going to start with the white foundation, and we want to do a curve from the top of the cheekbone down to the corner of the chin, and just make sure that the edges are really neat. And you want the top of this to stop kind of at the edge of where your eyebrows are. Now we're not going to be filling in this entire space. From the edges you want to blend that colour in, make another sharp line down the centre of your nose, and then you also want to outline your forehead and bring it up into the wig a little bit. And blank out your lips too, we don't want any colour there at all. Starting at the nose, I'm going to bring that colour round just a little bit over the brows, and it's going to fade out over the arch of the brows. Also you want to make sure that these edges are really neat and clean, and then just underneath the arch of the brow you want to put a little more paint on your brush, and you just want to curl it around the corner of the eye. Now down the sides of the face we're going to be using some more neutral colours. We're going to start off with a brown eyeshadow, and you just want to outline the white, and we're going to do two more lines. One which is just underneath the cheekbones, and that's going to fade out a little bit, and then you're also going to run that colour along the jaw, and it's going to stop just underneath the earlobe. With the exact same colour, start on the centre of your forehead and just line the white a little bit. Again, it's got to fade out as well. And then right down the middle you want to drag that colour up really sharply and have it fading out. With the same shade of brown we're going to bring that around underneath the eyes, and what you want to do is squint and try and get it just underneath the line that your eyes are going to create when you really narrow your eyes. And this is going to make two things happen. It's going to make you look a little bit tired, but it's also going to make your eyes appear a little bit larger later on. And then on the inner corner of the eye, just underneath the brow, I'm also going to be putting a little bit of colour there. And be careful not to smudge the white mark that we've already done. And then right on top of the Cupid's bow you want to drag that colour right up to your nose. Now on the side of my face I'm going to go back with the white foundation, start off from the very edge of my jaw, and you just want to make a little bit of a strong line of colour and then blend that down towards the edges. I'm also going to do a white line right down the centre of my throat. And now on the corner of the eye I'm going to take the same brown shadow that I used, and we're going to bring that colour down along the edges of the nose, and then we're going to do another one which is going to kind of follow the socket bone on your eye. Along the Cupid's bow, and then just outside that brown shadow that we've already done, I'm going to be using a little bit of light blue as a highlight, and then the same colour just over the tear ducts. And I'm going to be using my fingers for this because it's going to look a little bit better than if I use a brush, and it will catch the areas of my face which stick out naturally. I'm going to blend that into the eyeshadow around it. Now I'm also going to line the jawline a little bit more, and then do two lines just outside that white line I have down the centre of my throat, and they've got to fade out a little bit, so do one line right down the side of your throat and then blend it out so that there aren't any lumps or any kind of weird shadow things going on like what I had there. Next we're going to go ahead and use some bright blue. You're going to do two little flicks which are going to point down just on the top lip and then right down the centre of the bottom lip. And then we're going to add it to the waterline on the lower lid of the eye. And you can be quite rough with this at first. Just dabble the colour on and then wing it out so that it slants downwards. And we can blend this out later. Don't worry about it for the moment, it's just to get the colour down. On the white curve just underneath the arch of the brows we're going to do three lines. And they're going to vary in size. We're going to do a smaller one, a slightly smaller one, and then a really small one right on the corner. And then we're going to add to the edge of that white V shape and bring that colour down along the centre of the nose. I'm also going to add a few blue dots in between the lines. Now from there you want to try and blend out the blue line underneath the eyes, and then we're going to do a really thick swipe of colour just over the lid. On the edges of the lips we're going to add a mauvey colour, And what you can use your fingers for this, or you can use a brush, but I'm going to be using my fingers, and you want to pout like crazy and then try and get it just on the very edges of your lips and then blend it out. One last thing we're going to be doing with the blue is we're going to be starting on the very edge of the jaw, and you want to bring that colour up, and we're going to be doing a bit of a V shape. So follow the first line, and then you're going to do a second line of blue right along the jaw. I'm also going to add it just to the very edges of the nose, and then bring that down to connect with the brown line, but very lightly. It can't be visible when you're looking straight at the camera. And then 2 swipes up, and these have to be quite rough, almost like you've done it with a script brush. Add a curve of blue just underneath the lower lip, and then with the same brush I'm going to line as close to the lashes as possible, and I'm not looking for it to be neat. It can be a little bit feathery. Try and get that as close and tight into the lashes as possible, and the easiest way to do this is just to look down into a mirror. It tends to be a lot more accurate. I'm going to finish off the V shape on the corner of my jaw. I'm going to make it a little darker right at the base, closer to my chin, and then have it fading up the further up it goes. Now I've applied some false lashes, and one of the things that I always do before I apply any kind of liner is just run it over the back of my hand. The colour tends to apply a little bit better if it's warmer like that. And then with the same white foundation that I used before, I'm going to be using this on the lashes. But what you want to do is have the centre line from root to tip, but then the outer corners of the lashes just at the very end. I'm going to go over the eyebrows again, just to make them even lighter. And with the last bit of white eyeshadow, I'm going to add a little line on my chin. I'm going to add 2 stripes under the eyes and blend them out. Then you just want to unpin your hair, find anything that looks remotely alien-like or veil-like, add a few lights, and that's it, you're done.